has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, hour 2, C2C on a Terrible Towel Tuesday. Drea Cooper is an award-winning director and executive producer. He makes docs, killer flicks, and he's on today to talk about The Money Game on Prime Video that's coming out. And I got to tell you, Drea, going back, and it's great to have you on the show. In your career, I remember one of your docs. It was the one about the fires in California. I lived in California, and I remember you made that flick about Fire in Paradise. That was badass. That won awards, that documentary. Did that, you had already been made a little bit with some of your other docs and gotten acclaim, but that one was really over the top cool. I thought that one put you on the map with me. I had heard of you. After that, I was like, who is this dude making these cool docs?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, man, that was an intense one, to say the least. So, yeah, Fire in Paradise. It's a pretty intense look at the situation out west, that's for sure.
And it's still happening today. It's happening right now as we speak in Orange County. It's awful. I lived in Huntington Beach. I used to always say, Dre, to my friends, I'd say, there's never fire down at the beach. Never have fire at the beach. We have bonfires at the beach when we go surfing.
Unless you live near a volcano. So I was born in Hawaii, and man, when you see the volcano hit the water and you see that intense reaction, man, it's pretty wild. But yeah, usually water is safe.
Where in Hawaii? Because I used to have a pad in Kona.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my Aunt Karen used to live in Kona. So I was born on Oahu, but lived in Maui for a handful of years with my mom. We lived in like a little tool shed up country in Makawao. And then, then I moved to San Francisco as a little kid. So,
yeah, I lived there too. I loved San Francisco, and I love California. I live in New York City now. It's hell on earth. Let's talk about The Money Game. Interestingly enough, it's a lot about on Prime Video about LSU. And I'm fascinated, to be honest with you, with Livy Dunn. So she is making a fortune, and she should be, God bless her. She's dating that Paul Skeens. I'm a Pirate fan. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I watched this guy. Meanwhile, this chick, she lives near me, believe it or not, in real life when she's not at LSU. So I've seen her around. And believe me, she is well worth seeing around. When I see that girl, I'm like, well, I'm with my hot wife. I'm like, wow, look at that. That's that gymnast from LSU dating that baseball player. Look at her. I'm an old man. I'm all washed up. But my wife's smacks me in the face. And I'm like, look at that girl doing flips on the TV. How much money was that chick hauling in at LSU?
I mean, look, Olivia Dunn is the top earner in college sports today. She's pushing 10 million on NIL earnings right now.
Come on.
Yeah, man, it's pretty incredible. And look, this is the new world order of college athletics, which I think is pretty fascinating because, look, for 100 years, the system was virtually unchallenged, right? The NCAA, these big D1 programs across the country have been raking in millions and recently billions of bucks off these TV contracts. So I think it was a long time coming. But I don't think the NCAA or anybody had any idea exactly how this was going to play out. And here we are sort of in the middle of chaos in college sports.
How did Angel Reese do? She's doing really well now in the WNBA. Her season just ended with a wrist injury, but I'd imagine she was raking down there playing for Mulkey.
Absolutely. I mean, look, we follow a handful of the biggest athletes from LSU across the 23-24 school year. And really the idea was to see firsthand how the NIL policy change is impacting the lives of everyday college athletes. And so I think what's fascinating about our series is that we follow these big names that you just mentioned, Olivia Dunn, Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson, Jaden Daniels, but we also follow two other athletes who really make up the 98% of all college athletes. And that's Aaliyah Armstrong, a track athlete, and Trace Young, who plays on the men's basketball team. And they're the small fish, but that's the typical college athlete who's trying to find their way in this new, NIL landscape.
Did it like surprise you? Like you're not like exactly a guy doing tons of sports movies. So here you go down to Baton Rouge and you start following this money. Essentially, it's a money path of all these different athletes and what they make. It's kind of the haves and have-nots in essence, right? Like some of them make nothing at all and they go unnoticed, and that has to suck for them. And then these other ones are making all kinds of money. What was it like for you to be exposed to it as a filmmaker?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, we've all got different opinions on NIL, right? When the NIL policy came down just 3 years ago, I think, it was hotly contested then and it's hotly contested today. I think a lot of people have really strong ideas about the impact of NIL on college sports. But I think, rather than just talk about how messed up the policies are, how every state has different rules, I think I ultimately wanted to see, well, what is this really like for these athletes day to day? And so what I saw that I was really surprised by was, man, this NIL stuff is hard. It's a hustle. And to be honest, it doesn't matter if you're Livy Dunn making millions of dollars or you're Aaliyah Armstrong who's just struggling to find a deal. It's a full-time job. And so you add, you've got already a full-time job with your sport. You're doing that 40 plus hours a week. You're a full-time student. And now you add to it this NIL piece, which is a job unto itself. It's pretty tricky to figure out how to come up in this. But look, it's an incredible opportunity. But every one of these kids is hustling in different ways. And so whether you've got a team of, 10 people behind you in the case of Livy Dunn, or, really just yourself in the LSU NIL department like Aaliyah Armstrong, it's a game. It's a money game now. And everybody's trying to take advantage of this opportunity.
6 parts, this doc on Prime. So you really get into it. I think the struggle of some of these kids, that's, intriguing to me more than just the ones that get flipped the stacks of money that make all the money. I think the struggle, I can't wait to watch it from the standpoint of those that have to kind of fend for themselves that you were mentioning and how hard it is.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I think what's really fascinating about the series that comes out of the 6 different athletes that we follow at LSU is this idea that, you've got some of these big earners, right, with Flau'jae and Jaden, but each person has a different relationship to NIL. So some might think, oh, well, Jaden Daniels, he must be taking full advantage of all these NIL deals coming his way. And I think what's interesting to learn about Jaden was that while he was a transfer, kid, he didn't get any money in the portal, right? Because he was sort of an untested entity, if you will. He had some talent. He showed streaks of greatness at Arizona State as a freshman, but his sophomore year was pretty rough. And he ends up going to LSU, no money guaranteed. And it wasn't until he beats Alabama in 22 at home at Death Valley where everybody sat up in their seat and said, holy, who's this kid?
Yeah.
And his first deal was from a local personal injury attorney, Gordon McKernan, came to the table and said, hey, man, I'm going to throw you some coin. I want to put you up on billboards all around Baton Rouge. And that was his first deal. And it turned out, after a little while, him and his mom were like, look, we're going to step back from NIL because it's starting to take away from the main goal, which is going to the league. Right. And so Jaden's got that big opportunity. He could make 30 plus million and he ended up landing that incredible contract. However, someone like Olivia Dunn, there's no professional league for gymnasts. So that's what's tricky,
she's
man.
Incredible. Dre, great job. I can't wait to see the doc on Prime Video. Thanks for coming on C2C today, my man.
Thank you.
there is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
That was interesting. Dre Cooper and the Money Game, which comes out on Prime Video today. It's out now, 6-part series. I'm going to check it out. He also just told me about a movie that he has coming out in December on the big screen about Clarissa Shields, the boxer, right? And I interviewed her at the Super Bowl. I think she was in love with me, Carver High. She didn't say that or anything, but you could tell.
She definitely didn't say that. But yeah, you were there. I wasn't. So I don't know what the vibe was with you guys. So I guess it's possible.
You didn't feel the vibe when
not through the screen, but
no.
it's possible that you you might have felt.
Once again, I protest. I want to file a formal protest right here that you weren't there, or when you're not there. Like, you're not there Thursday and Friday this week in Vegas. I file a formal protest, and I'm going to file an initial protest for New Orleans. I'm going to file a grievance and a protest that if you're not with me in New Orleans, then there really is no reason for anyone to go. There's a lot of geniuses and experts and very talented people, but none of them are in concert with Ferrall and Carver High. Just some shocking news for them, I'm sure, at the network level to hear how great we are together. But I'm sure there's just so many other people more important than us.
Let's move on. We got more games in week number 2 in the NFL to get to. We mentioned that the Bengals yesterday are absolutely miserable the first 2 weeks of the season under Zach Taylor. Well, that might continue, Scotty. 1-10. Will it be 1-11? In Kansas City against the Chiefs? Now, Mahomes said yesterday the Bengals will be more hungry to get a win after their Week 1 loss to the Patriots. Okay, sure. Are you trying to say that your team's not going to be hungry? Here's Zach Taylor, though, talking about the Bengal offense, which did a whole lot of nothing on Sunday against New England.
Well, I think the start, we're all accountable for that. I go to bed feeling awful. Joe goes to bed feeling awful. There's plenty of other players that feel about the little things that they could have controlled that would have been better early in the game. So
awful.
It's not something we predicted would happen. We thought we'd be off to a tremendous start, 21-0. I mean, it's just it's how confident you feel going into the game. And when it doesn't go that way, there's no one that feels worse about it than the men walking off that field. And so again, you're sick to your stomach. You don't sleep. You're miserable all night. And now as this day goes and you start getting ramped up for Kansas City, the excitement starts to build to get a new opportunity and put our best foot forward and put that one behind us. And so again, that's just how we felt coming out of there, and that's where we're going to be going forward.
Is there anything more stale than listening to this guy try to deflect a loss? Like, just, I don't even know. Like, I've always wondered, like, I've said this to you 1,000 times. Why are we interviewing the losers? No one cares what they think. Like, I've always been fascinated. Here, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson. She's down with the losing coach. The coach, what happened? Oh, we just didn't get it done today. It was horrible. We feel really bad. We just made too many mistakes. And there's a lot of guys in there that I stand up for. They've been there with me since the beginning, and I'm very proud of them. There's no one I'd rather go into battle with than these guys. It was just a terrible loss in the Super Bowl. We're very upset, but they just you got to tip your hat. They played better than us. It's always the worst interview of the year. No one wants it. Zach Taylor lost to the Patriots. He shouldn't even be allowed to do an effing interview.
The Bengals are getting 5.5.
I'm right.
In Kansas City this week. 47.5 is the total. Of course, we've had some really good games between Burrow and Mahomes over the past couple of years, Scotty. Will we get another one this week?
No.
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 So a smash job, you're saying.
That is
late of 5.5.
That's gifting them 2 home games to start the season. It's like, what doesn't the NFL do for Fat Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, honest to Christ. What don't they? I'm surprised. I literally am surprised that they don't play all 17 games at home. I'm fascinated that the league would ever deplore them to play a road game. I don't understand it. I've never been able to figure it out. They get everything else. They're on every primetime game. They've never not been on national television in the last 6 years. Every game, every single game. And then this guy with his little fingers, like, it drives me nuts when he does this after every play. What is that? Is that like what is it, a hummingbird? Is there anything worse than this guy Mahomes with his little finger thing he does? I don't know. What is that? Like, when I watch it, it drives me effing crazy. Like, every play is like, and I just look at him and I want to just smash him in the face. I really do. Oh, I want someone to rake his ass. I don't care. Like, I'm the steel curtain. I grew up with violence is certain. You want to play in Three Rivers Stadium on a Sunday, you're going to get hit. You're going to wake up with broken ribs. Your quarterback's going to be concussed. No mercy, Carver High. Sweep the leg like Bruce Smith. There is no time for friendliness. It's pain day.
Pain day, baby. Nothing like pain day, that's for sure. Sweep the leg, no mercy. It's all happening, etc., etc. They should play every game at home in Arrowhead. They've deserved it over the last couple of years.
And you know what they need to do? They need to show more of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's gotten so bad now. Did I need all the shots of them at the U.S. Open on Sunday, too? The two of them at the U.S. Open men's final. Did we need that as well with him in the dopey hat over there? We did not need that whatsoever.
I'd rather sleep with Blake Lively. I don't need to look at Taylor Skinny Swift. She needs to eat a sandwich. I'm telling you, the other one, now that's a hot woman. The other one looks like a schoolgirl. They need to beef her up, man. Protein bars. Get her going. I can't listen. Skin and bones. I can't have it.
We will come back. We will come back, and we will hear from Matt LaFleur. Who else do we got for you? Mike McCarthy. We got the Harbaugh brothers. We got everybody in the mix here on C2C today. We got baseball later, college football. Very busy Tuesday.
To see Jim Harbaugh a week from Sunday in the Steel City. Some real pain and deliverance.
going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I just said, Mike, to Frank the Tank that I went to the luxury suite at the Jet game, and he told me that I was no longer welcome there with the abuse that we dished out to the Jets today. He said, "Stop coming to my stadium. You're not welcome there." I was like, all right. I'll just go to Pittsburgh and watch a winner. No problem. And by the way, do you want me to take a picture, Frank, of our 6 Super Bowls? Because they got it right there in the foyer. They got him right there. You can just let you go right in and take a picture.
Frank's walking into a lot of fire today. I mean, he's just walking into a lot of fire. He's upset about last night.
Frank's in Orange County dealing with the Santa Ana winds.
It's not a good scene for him there. I'll tell you, it's not going to be a good scene either for the Green Bay Packers, Scotty, over the next few weeks. Allegedly, with Jordan Love having the MCL. They say 4 to 6 weeks. Matt LaFleur said yesterday that it will be Malik Willis as the starting quarterback if Jordan Love can't go. Now, this is where this clip makes me laugh, Scotty. Here's LaFleur yesterday. It sounds like he's trying to sell you that there's actually a chance that Love could still play this week. I don't know why he's doing that, but here's LaFleur yesterday.
That is Malik going to be the guy as you go forward here, and are you preparing him to be the starter?
Yeah, if Jordan's not cleared, then we'll start Malik, and Sean will be the backup.
What's the possibility, say if Jordan isn't clear, what's the possibility of Jordan actually being ready for?
I couldn't give you a percentage, but if he gets cleared, we'll give him every opportunity like we always will. And, I know he's doing everything in his power. I know he's spending a lot of time trying to get back as soon as possible, but certainly we're not going to put him in a position where if he can't protect himself that he'd go out there.
Honestly.
Let's go with it. Let's play the guy with the damaged PCL knee. Let's throw him out. This is the National Football League. This is not the place to see if your knee's gonna hold up after you've had it damaged on Friday night in Brazil, and then a week later, let's give it a roll. Let's roll him out there, see how he does, see if he can take a hit. He's not playing for 6 weeks. Let's stop with all this bullshack and go right with it. And here's the reality. Malik Willis is hairdryer city. I mean, this guy is – the Steelers were going to get him in the draft. I was going to slice my wrists. You heard me. I honestly, do you remember the day that they drafted him and they took Pinkett? And I was like, oh, thank God. You remember I was running around, thank God, Pickett, thank God, Pickett. Meanwhile, Pickett's another one. He's Clairol hairdryer city. I mean, he's got his own hairdryer brand. He's got NIL money. Your boy Kenny touchdowns. Your boy Small Hands Pickett.
Amazing.
They're both
it really
awful.
is.
They're awful. Willis is awful. Bet against the Packers every game.
They are now getting 3.5 at home Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts. The total's 40.5. Look, I thought Richardson played well, Scotty, on Sunday for Indy. He's going to score some points. We saw the Packer D give up a ton to the Eagles Friday night in Brazil. Colts are going to score, and I think the Packers are going to be able to do that with them, Scott. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up.
Yesterday, Kaplan said Richardson played terrible, and he threw a 70-yard bomb, and he threw another touchdown strike as well. So, sometimes maybe it's the alcohol, but I saw a different game than he did. Like, I love Adam, but you can't tell me a guy sucks when he throws a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown and then throws another one for 40 yards for a touchdown. Like, and then what? Are you going to give the credit to the receiver because he caught it and ran into the end zone, but the pass was a strike? Like, he's going to beat the Packers because Willis sucks.
He's not Joe Montana. I understand that. But if you sat there like some of these charts and graphs people do, and you broke down snap by snap, and he's not, he missed this guy and he missed that guy. I'm sure he did that. I'm sure he did all of that on Sunday. But you want to know what else he does? He also makes plays. You see, there's guys that suck, and they make all those mistakes, and they don't make any other big plays. He makes big plays. He was falling on his back foot and threw the ball like 70 yards in the air on one of those touchdowns. He runs all over the place. He makes plays and he scores points. They are going to beat the Packers, Scotty. And in fact, 3.5, I have been by a touchdown or more. If Malik Willis is playing, they're going to beat him by a significant margin.
I'm with you.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
hear Frank the Tank giving me the business there, Carver High? Like, giving me the business.
Yeah,
He's so mad about his Jets now. He's turning on me. It's like a leaf he turned.
Yeah, it seems that way. He's very upset because, look, I think he didn't expect when he was going to walk in here today that we were going to spend the majority of the time taking shots at the Jets and dragging the Jets all over the place. So I don't think he was ready for that today, and it's okay. He's going to be all right.
I don't care about Jets, but I know you're a Bills guy, so you have to drag him through the muddy, murky waters.
That's it. That sometimes that has to happen. We drag the Giants plenty as well. To be fair, we do drag both of the Jersey teams
keep it level.
Whenever we get a chance on this. Of course, the Giants probably had, maybe I would say, the second worst performance. It's hard to top how bad Carolina was in New Orleans on Sunday, but I think that the Giants probably had the second worst performance in the entire NFL. Yesterday we played Dable saying, well, I think we might have did some good things. We might have been hopefully he watched the tape a few times and maybe has a differing opinion about that game now. Apparently he doesn't, Scotty. He just knows they have a lot of mistakes they got to clean up.
Do you think the game was an aberration, a game not indicative of your personnel and talent?
Yeah, I just say, give credit to Minnesota. They did a good job. There were some things that we did well. Third down was better than it's been. Explosive plays. I thought we did a good job on 18 minus the one play, obviously, that went for 44.
Just take that one play out and it was
scoring
okay.
points.
Just take out the big play.
It's hard to win a game when you don't do that offensively. So have to do a good job there. Had some good plays on special teams. But, again, give them credit.
Good plays on special teams.
They did a good job, and we didn't do good enough.
I like, as you know, I know Brian. I like him. Yeah. I think he's a great guy. He's very cool. Recruiter. He's a great recruiter. But I will tell you this, like, my man, like, I'll never forget the day he got the job. Remember, he rolled in his truck and he pulled up to the facility and he went in. And now he just looks like he needs 3 fingers of scotch. I mean, he looks like a different guy. All it took was 2 years in New York. This is 2 seasons. He's in his 3rd year, and he looks like he's probably keeping a bottle in his desk of scotch. You got it. Like, he looks like he's about sick and tired of this. Like, he's like, oh my God, I got to do another one of these press conferences. Like, he has no answers. Listen, are you kidding me? I got to listen to this guy tell me they can't even score a touchdown, and I'm going to listen to him? Like, honestly, like, I love you, bro, but just stop. You suck. Your team sucks.
He's in big trouble, and I was talking with some of my Giant fan friends here locally, of course, last night, and I saw a little bit of some clips of that Belichick with the Mannings last night, and I'm telling you now, Belichick drools the New York Giants. If you could ask him what's one place, if he could coach one more time and he's got another crack, where would it want it to be? It would be with the Giants. The way he speaks about Mara and Lawrence Taylor and the Giants, like, he loves that organization. Right. And now let's also compound the fact that John Mara is starting to get ticked off and embarrassed that his fans are walking out of the building at halftime of a 100-year celebration in his building for the 10th, 8 of the last 10 years, they've been absolutely embarrassing. And who's the one guy that Mara and Tisch will look to bring respectability back to the Giants? Bill Belichick.
What about this?
That's who it's.
What about if they're like, let's say hypothetically they went 0-6. Would you fire him and hire Bill Belichick immediately? And secondly, why did they dress like an outdoor classic Montreal Canadiens game?
I don't know what that was about. That was a questionable wardrobe choice by them on Sunday. I don't believe he would do the mid-season thing. I think that that's not something that Bill would do. I think that Dable and Shane are going to get the runway here for this entire season, but they go 4-13, 5-12 again. I don't think they're getting another crack. I've had people tell me they're going to get to draft their own quarterback. They're going to get their own quarterback. No, I don't know with Mara. I think when Mara sees that shiny, Belichick sitting out there and how much Belichick loves the Giants, I think that could change fairly quickly. And Belichick
you don't have
will
a
be the one.
problem with him he'd be 73 years old.
Look, if I was a Giant fan, I would probably have a problem with it. If I was a Giant fan, I would probably look at it as, is this really the best long-term solution to the team? And I probably wouldn't be happy about it. I'm just telling you what I think Mara and Belichick would be thinking.
I agree with you.
That they love each other, and that's how they would
I think
get
you do
themselves
it for
together.
3 years.
Yeah, look, I think, but what would he do in those 3 years? Hopefully, bring the Giants back to respectability, because they have become. You know this, being in this area, they used to be the model franchise of the New York area. You know, they're just a model franchise that everybody wants to be the Giants. They're run so well, and they have so much tradition, and that's like been gone the last 8 to 10 years. I mean, gone right out the window. So I think that's how that all could shake out if this continues to be as bad as it was on Sunday. It was not bad for the Cowboys on Sunday, Scotty. Of course, they smashed the Browns in Cleveland. September football can be a little sloppy, and I love something that McCarthy's going to say here. We saw a lot of penalties in all these games throughout the entire first weekend. Just way too many penalties, and McCarthy says that's part of playing early in September. Teams just aren't crisp yet.
Yeah, I think September football is really clearly, what the league experiences. I mean, yes, you don't have the time, that you used to have as far as fundamentals and things like that. But everybody's on the same schedule, so it's not like one team has an advantage over the other. So I just think it's something to be aware of and something to coach against. The thing I didn't, I don't say I didn't like. I mean, the thing that comes out of it is, you want to play cleaner football. I mean, we had way too many penalties. I think the game in itself, who the hell wants to watch a game or be part of a game that has 20 penalties in it? So
I like Coke Zero way better
spend
than
time on that. We did today, and
I really do, Carver High. I'm a Coke guy. The Pepsi thing has never done it for me. I just have to be honest. It really is like.
Cowboys are home on Sunday against the Saints, who destroyed Carolina. 6.5 for the Star in this game, 46.5 the total.
Yeah, I think they're going to maul Derek Carr and knock all of his teeth out of his mouth. I think they're going to just torture him and knock every single tooth out of his mouth. And I think the Cowboys are going to beat the out of him. I was so close right there to just absolutely dropping a significant bomb on the air. Hold on, Frank's saying, watch my mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Red phone. Hello.
Let's slide one more in here before the break. Last one we'll do with the coaches. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, of course, big win for them on Sunday to get things going. He basically says the identity of this team has been here. The coach before me just sucked because all these players are great.
This is the Los Angeles Chargers approach. This is
like
Justin Herbert. This is Joey Bosa. This is Khalil Mack. This is Derwin James. I mean, the way they work, the way they play, it's all about the team. It's all at the highest level. It's all the work that they pour in on a daily basis, and how they play the game. I mean, it's all out. It's all out all the time. I mean, it's hustle. It's constant hustle. It's hustling at all times.
Oh, it's just hustle. It's just constant.
I just can't take the Charger golf shirt he has on. Every time he does a presser, he's got that stupid golf shirt on. Like, honestly,
it's a different one.
Listen, listen. When you and I roll through the casino, you've never seen me not look relatively cool. I just don't go out looking like a dork.
And the hat. You got that hat on all the time.
There's going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We were just doing our daily evaluation of stupid people on the show, and we had an entire block of people that we added to that mix, and I'm not going to discuss it any further due to legal issues. But I thought I made a really good point of how many stupid people I know, and it offended a few others. So sometimes my big mouth will get me tripped up. Never know when it's going to happen, where I fall right on my face.
You usually find yourself.
I was right, though, about all the stupid people. You can't even argue it.
A couple times a day, you do end up talking bad about people, and that's usually how it all starts. All right, I got a lot to do. I need to finish this NFL. You need a new punter. Cameron Johnson suffered the season-ending knee injury when he got blasted in that game on Sunday. And then, by the way, this got lost in the shuffle for the Steelers on Sunday, Scotty. That punt that Boswell did when the guy got hurt was a great punt. And because you thought that was a tight game at that point, 15-10, whatever it was, like that was a great punt by Boswell to kind of push them back after Johnson got destroyed on that play, and he's finished. The Browns tight end David Njoku, week to week, he has an ankle injury. Not a good scene for him. All right. I always love giving you numbers. Let's give you some numbers here for today. If you lose week 1, we could be upset like Frank is about the Jets, but losing week 1, Scotty, does not mean that your season is over. Look at this. Teams that have lost in week 1 but won the Super Bowl since 2000. It happens. The Chiefs have done it a bunch of times. The Bucs, the Giants, both times they won the Super Bowl in the last 20 years. The Bucs, the Pats, it's just 1 week. Don't overreact, it says there on the bottom. So nothing to worry about, Scotty. Just losing week 1.
Yeah, I don't. I hope that all those teams on that list don't win the Super Bowl. How's that for an answer? I hope all those teams, in particular Frank's team, is one of them. And then the Chiefs. Yeah. The Chiefs didn't lose this year, but they've lost before. No. Last year they lost, and they still won the Super Bowl. And I hope they lose every week.
Not a good week for the public. I always give you the betting recap on Tuesday from the previous week. 6-10 against the spread, teams that had 50% or more of the bets. And I think the top 5, Scotty, like all lost, which was like Miami, Cincinnati, like the top 5 all lost on Sunday, but 6-10 altogether for teams that were getting 50% or more of the bets.
Listen, is this some kind of revelation that people are losing money betting on NFL games? Like, there is nothing, I've already said this today, there's nothing harder to do in life. Literally nothing. I mean, you can't name one thing harder than betting on NFL game. What is harder than that? Tell me what it is. I had open heart surgery. That was easier than betting on the NFL, honestly. And then you get a lot of nurses feeling sorry for you and grabbing your ass. Are we on the air? Don't talk about asses. All right. So all I know is if you bet on the NFL, you will lose money.
Well, we try to win a little bit.
You and I won a lot of money this weekend. We're not like others. We're not like others.
1 week down. Any changes to the big board for you on Tuesday? There's the big board. I have all the numbers. Remember, Scotty, it might look small to us, but at home, everybody can see that very clearly. Kansas City plus 450, San Francisco plus 550. The big slides this week, Bengals down to 20-1, Packers down to 30-1 on the big board to win Super Bowl 59.
And what are my Steelers, 50-1?
50-1 for the Steelers. Yes, 50-1 right now.
Well, I mean, according to that Braille report you just gave me, the season's over for everyone.
Braille to us, good for everyone else. They can see it nice at home, which is nice. Good to hear. Here's the entire slate for this week. I know I only kind of gave you a couple of games there. You know, the Lions are -7 at home against the Bucs. Remember they played in the playoffs last year. Jags -3.5 at home against Cleveland. Seahawks -3.5 in Foxborough. Ravens -9.5 against the Raiders. The Chargers are 6.5-point favorites in Carolina. Niners, a lot of road favorites here, Scotty. Niners road favorite in Minnesota. Colts road favorite in Green Bay. Jets road favorite in Tennessee. Wow. So lots. Steelers -3 road favorite in Denver. I can't now. Look, I know we get some home dogs every week, Scotty, but that is a large list of road favorites that we're going to be dealing with here. You know they're not all going to cover either. Some of those home dogs are going to bark this week.
Yeah, listen, Denver's one of them, right? Like, I want, obviously the Steelers to win, but they never win there. I mean, literally, that place is kryptonite for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, they may be 0-400 there. I can't keep track of it. I just know they never win there, ever. They're up by 40, they still lose. Up by 40 at the half, they still lose. Bubby Brister had the game of his life, and so did Merrill Hodge. I talked about him at the Super Bowl. I said to him right at the Super Bowl, live on SportsGrid, I said, I have never been to a worse game in my life that a team dominated like you dominated the Broncos that day in the 89 divisional semifinal at Mile High Stadium. You had the game of your life. You ran buck wild on them, and Brister had the game of his life. You dominated the game. You owned the game, start to finish, and then with 1 second left, Braxton over the top for a touchdown, and they lost. And I got on that plane, and honestly, I wanted to choke. I wanted to choke myself, just literally choke myself. So I had no air left. It was the worst feeling in the world. And I mean, you could hear a pin drop on that plane. When you lose a playoff game and you're winning the whole game and you blow it at the end, there's no worse feeling in the NFL. Nothing worse. They never win there.
Just one that kind of jumps out to me also. Lions -7. The Bucs played well last week. The Bucs played them well in the playoff game there last year.
Where is that game?
It's in Detroit, but
every
still,
game at home for them too, huh? Let's make sure the Chiefs and Lions
Kansas
play
City
all the
and
home
Detroit.
games.
Yeah, playing their first 2 games at home to start the year. Must be nice.
As long as they're happy.
Yeah.
going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, let's go to baseball finally.
Yes, let's do some things with MLB. Of course, everybody's playing tonight. It's a Tuesday night, big slate of games that we have to get to. Just a few things from last night first. The Yankees did open their series with the Royals in victorious fashion. Didn't look good for a while, but then the Yankees rally late. Judge with a single to tie the game at 4, and then Austin Wells, Scotty, getting involved on the Yes Network.
Into the bleachers, a 3-run blast, and the Yankees lead 7-4.
There you go. That was a huge win. The O's lost, so there you go, a game and a half.
A game and a half as the Orioles, as we mentioned earlier at the top of the show, they got smashed 12-5 by the Red Sox. Game and a half now, 2 games in the loss column for the Yankees in the AL East. The Pirates beat the Marlins 3-2. Ho-hum for Skeens, honestly. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 run. ERA's 2.1. But who cares? He's not Jackson Merrill, right, Scotty? So what's the difference?
That's it.
Ho-hum for Skeens.
He's not going to win it because that kid plays every day out there in the middle of nowhere in paradise. So they're going to give it to that kid instead of the guy that captured baseball's imagination this summer. Here, let's give it to someone no one cares about except Padre fans. No one else cares about him. Everyone talks about Paul Skeens.
Everyone. Amazing that he's not going to get that award at the end of this month for the NL Rookie of the Year. Amazing. The Phillies beat the Rays 2-1. They had a walk-off hit in that after Lau tied it in the 9th for the Rays. The Reds beat the Braves 1-0. Costly loss for the Braves, as now the Mets are a game ahead of them. The Mets beat the Jays, Scotty, 3-2 last night, and it probably was about as unconventional a win as you can get for the Mets. They were down in this game 2-1 going into the top of the 8th. They score a run on a wild pitch to make it 2-2, and then they take the lead on a passed ball in the top of the 8th on SNY.
And he swings and misses and gets away from Servin. Here comes Alvarez. The throw not in time, and the Mets take the lead.
Oh, my God.
The Mets getting 2 runs on balls that get away from the catcher, and the Mets go right back in front, 3-2 in the 8th.
Did you hear Hernandez?
Keith.
Oh, my God.
Well, you know Keith. I mean, Keith loves to sit up there, and he drubs you about, fundamentals, fundies, and all this other stuff. So it must have, even though the Mets took the lead, which he loves, to see it on a couple of balls getting by the catcher, imagine losing like that. That really sums up the year in Toronto for the Jays. Tough scene indeed. Angels beat the Twins 6-2. Cleveland beat the White Sox. White Sox lose every night, as we know. And finally, the Cubs did beat the Dodgers last night, Scotty. 10-4, and I thought we had to give a little love to our boy, Cody Bellinger, going back to L.A., where, of course, he had some of his best years, won an NL MVP there, getting involved in the first inning on the Marquee Network.
And Cody hammers one. Right field, way back and gone. Cody Bellinger, first pitch swinging, a 2-run blast, and just like that, against his former mates, it's 2-0.
There you go, Belly.
Belly bomb indeed. Weekly look, odds to win the American League for you here, Scotty. Of course, the Yankees. Everybody loves the Yankees. They are still the favorites right now, plus 250. The Orioles are right behind them, plus 320. Astros, Cleveland, Minnesota, Kansas City. The most money, though, is, of course, on the Orioles to win the American League.
Yeah, I don't frankly know why. And I'll tell you another thing. The Yankees bullpen scares the hell out of me. So betting on them is, at some level, risky, I think, because if you can't close the door, you cannot win in the postseason. That's just all there is to it. And, some of those teams, like Kansas City, is so dangerous. I know that Yankees beat them last night. So what? It flipped the pancake tonight. I mean, you never know who's going to win these games. Playoffs, like all these other teams, the Guardians have been so good, and they're getting no respect whatsoever in these sports books at all. Like, the Yankees are automatic to me is laughable.
Yeah, that's certainly how they think. And the Dodgers as well. I'll give you that quickly when we come back. Dodgers, heavy favorites in the NL. Seems like they go every year. Too bad they don't. They don't go every year.
I live for nothing more than to see them lose in the playoffs in October.
Buy or sell, Anthony Richardson will be a top 7 fantasy quarterback this season. We're keeping this realistic here. We know that nobody would think that he'll be in the top 3, probably not even the top 5. How about top 7, George? Buy or sell?
If he stays healthy, top 5 is not out of question here at all. He's a running quarterback. We know how valuable they can be. My worry is going to be what I mentioned when we talked about the Indianapolis Colts. Boy, man, if Pittman were to go down, there's not a lot to throw. He'll be running for his life half the time there. I like Richardson a lot. Small sample size of what we saw of what he's going to be. I played the 5 games last year before the injury here. So, or a longer season, we'll see if he gets to catch up to him, what he can do. He's going to have to prove he can throw the ball to be down the field here. I'm going to buy this. All right, I want to buy on Anthony Richardson. I want him to be that guy because I want to see the excitement that he can bring. I think smart money might say go the other way because there's so many quarterbacks in that tier that hey, he could have a good year and still not finish top 7. That being said, I think he will show just like he did last year. He's going to be dynamic. I'm buying top 7.
Yeah, it reminds me so much of Cam Newton in the early days too. I'm going to sell on this. I think it's too high. I think most leagues take away points for interceptions. If that's the case, I think his numbers are going to be 20-something touchdowns, 15, 16-something interceptions. That's going to negate some stuff. Yes, he will run. Can he play an entire season? Still very questionable for me. I have him as the 9th best fantasy quarterback at the end of the season, just outside the top 7. So I'm going to go sell on that